Saint-Jean-de-Luz is a commune in the Pyrénées-Atlantiques department in southwestern France. Saint-Jean-de-Luz is part of the Basque province of Lébat. Geography: Saint-Jean-de-Luz Bay is situated to the east of the Bay of Biscay. It is the only sheltered bay between Arcachon and Spain, thanks to its strong sea walls and dikes that protect the town from the full savagery of the Atlantic Ocean. It has become a favorite for bathers across the Basque coast. The seaside resort itself is relatively recent, however the port is old. Water from the area flows into the town from the Nivelle and its smaller tributaries, the Echeberri, Issaco and Xanthico streams. There is also the Basse Aron, and its smaller tributary the Mendy, which passes directly through Saint-Jean-de-Luz. The river has been made accessible to boats and it joins the sea by the Aramadio Beach, a branch of the Ouabia, an emblematic river in the neighboring Baïda district, and its smaller Amasola tributary, also pass to the sea through Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Transportation: Saint-Jean-de-Luz straddles Route départementale D810, the old Route nationale A10. The town can be reached from the A63 motorway, exit 3 and exit 2. The Saint-Jean-de-Luz Subway railway station is served by the SNCF Bordeaux to Ireland route. Biarritz Airport is the closest airport to Saint-Jean-de-Luz. History: Saint-Jean-de-Luz is located on the Atlantic coast of France, just a few kilometers from the border with Spain. Its wealth stems from its port and its past, with the town being associated with both fishing and with the capture of vessels by its own Basque corsairs, or pirates. This prosperity reached its height during the 17th century, which is still considered as the town's golden age. During this period, Saint-Jean-de-Luz became the second largest town in the Lébat region with a population or around 12,000, just behind Bayonne. Marriage of Louis XIV. Saint-Jean-de-Luz is known for its royal wedding connection. In 1659, Cardinal Mazarin spent several months in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, from where he would embark on almost daily trips to the island of Bidassoa for Franco-Spanish meetings that resulted in the Treaty of the Pyrenees, one clause of which was the marriage of Louis XIV. To Maria Theresa, the Infanta of Spain. Saint-Jean-de-Luz and its church were chosen to host the royal wedding on the 9th of June 1660. Peninsular War: the Duke of Wellington set up his winter headquarters in the town during the Peninsular War, 1813–14. End of the 19th century to the end of the 19th century, Saint-Jean-de-Luz became a popular beachside resort town for the surrounding high society. Like Biarritz, Saint-Jean-de-Luz was particularly appreciated by the French and Spanish aristocracy. By the early 1900s, it also turned into the scene of Carlist conspiratorial activities. Evacuation of the Polish army by sea in June 1940. In the Second World War, about 55,000 men of the Polish army in France had fought in the Battle of France in June 1940. After the French Marshal Pétain's call for an armistice and demobilization on the 16th of June, the Poles had fought on, until on the 19th of June Polish Commander-in-Chief General Władysław Sikorski ordered all units to withdraw to the coast to seek evacuation to the United Kingdom as part of Operation Ariel. Units unable to get on ships trying to leave Saint-Nazaire made a fighting retreat south to Saint-Jean-de-Luz, where they flocked onto the beach and the pier in the fishing port. The Gdynia American Line passenger ships Battery and Sobieski anchored in the harbor, where local fishermen volunteered to ferry the soldiers out to them. The sea was rough and the fishing boats had difficulty approaching the side of these ships to enable the men to transfer without falling into the water. It is reported that women and children were helped aboard by sailors. Diplomats and officials of the Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs also embarked on these ships, and some French who had been inspired by General de Gaulle's appeal of the 18th of June to continue the struggle against Germany. The ships sailed early on the 21st of June, and the senior naval officer reported that 9,000 Polish troops were loaded on these two ships. We know in detail the various movements of ships through the logs that have been preserved. Sobieski was at the mouth of the Gironde River on the 20th of June, and arrived in Saint-Jean-de-Luz harbour on the night of 21 June, where she immediately embarked evacuees. Battery reached the mouth of the Adour at 0700 hours on the 21st of June, and then began an approach to enter the port of Bayonne without anchor. However, on the recommendation of a British liaison officer, she then went to Saint-Jean-de-Luz, where troops and Polish civilian refugees were gathered. The French soldier, writer and later politician Maurice Schumann was among those who embarked on her. The Ettrick arrived on the 23rd of June and embarked about 1,100 British refugees and 300 Poles. The British liner Arandora Star also arrived in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, where she embarked about 3,000 troops and refugees, including most of the Polish staff, and took them to Liverpool. Bad weather and low clouds prevented a Luftwaffe attack, and hence another disaster like the sinking on the 17th of June of the British liner RMS Lancastria at Saint-Nazaire, which was laden with thousands of troops and refugees as part of Operation Ariel. Arandora Star got out of Saint-Jean-de-Luz just in time before a Luftwaffe bomber attack on the town and port began. Ettrick and Arandora Star sailed with escort provided by HMS Harvester. A total of 24,352 Polish troops managed to evacuate France by the armistice deadline of the 25th of June. In total, one of the last evacuees was Sir Ronald Hugh Campbell, the British ambassador to France. Post-war, after 1945, some of the traditional fishing-based industries of the Fargeau district gradually disappeared, mainly as a result of overfishing and competition from elsewhere. This change strengthened the transformation of the town towards more luxury and tourism industries. In Saint-Jean-de-Luz, over 40% of dwellings of the town are second homes. In the 1960s, the town expanded northwards and also southwards in the direction of. Since the 1970s, Saint-Jean-de-Luz has been connected to Bordeaux to the north and Spain to the south by the motorway, and more recently by the TGV railway. Saint-Jean-de-Luz boasts extensive and attractive land and scenery, as well as a well-preserved coastline which has so far escaped urbanization. Indeed, some of the Basque coast has seen a degree of development, but the area between Fort Sacoa and the Abadia Nature Reserve and Castle remains well protected. Today, Saint-Jean-de-Luz is a fishing port on the Basque coast and now a famous resort known for its architecture, sandy bay, the quality of the light and the cuisine. The town is located south of Biarritz, on the right bank of the river Nivelle opposite to Sabour. The port lies on the estuary just before the river joins the ocean. The summit of Laron is about 8 kilometers southeast of the town. The summit can be reached by the Petit Train de l'Irune, which starts from the Col de Saint-Ignace, 10.5 kilometers east of the town on the D4 road to Serres. It is in the traditional province of Lapidi of the Basque country. Cultural heritage. The town features a large number of residences built in the 17th and 18th centuries along the Quai de l'Infante from Mazarin, Rue Gambetta and at the place Louis XIV. In some respects this is testament to the families, ship owners and Basque merchants from this period. One of these, built alongside the Quai de l'Infante around 1640, is called the Maison Joannina, and it is here that the Queen Mother, Anne of Austria, stayed before the marriage of Louis XIV to Maria Theresa, the Infanta of Spain, on the 8th of May 1660. The Infanta stayed there on the 7th of June. Locally, this house is referred to as the Maison de l'Infante, and it has become a popular tourist attraction and museum. A monument in the Verdun Square honors the memory of the fallen soldiers from World War I and World War II, and another monument on the Quai de l'Infante is dedicated to the resistance movement Orion. This second plaque commemorates the importance of the work of French escape networks, which helped people evade capture in occupied France during World War II. Finally, there are some bunkers still visible along the coast. These formed part of the infamous Atlantic Wall, German defenses against the anticipated Allied invasion of western France. Some remains are still visible on the Santa Barbe promenade. Tourism. Nowadays, Saint-Jean-de-Luz depends strongly on tourism, with safe, clean beaches, notable high-quality hotels, and a thalassotherapy spa, swimming pools, a casino, golf courses, and a new conference center that is under construction. The town also benefits from regional tourism, with many attracted by the pedestrian area full of shops open all year round. It also attracts a large number of visitors from Basque Country, Spain, or Guipuzcoa, along with many from nearby Bayonne and the rest of southwestern France. The city is particularly attractive to retired people, many of whom come to settle there from other areas across France. Many cultural and sporting events are held throughout the year. There are internships and public concerts of classical music organized by the Académie Ravel, usually in the auditorium of the same name. There is a film festival dedicated to young filmmakers, a surfing film festival in Basque Pelota Championships, the tradition of the Basque Trials of Strength. The origin of Basque Trials of Strength is found in the daily tasks carried out across the region. For centuries, young Basque farmers pitted themselves against each other in physical challenges. Laboring in the forests of the Basque country gave rise to the challenge known as escaleriac, as well as athletic sawing of tree stumps and wood. The construction of buildings, often based on large stones for the cathedrals and monasteries, led to the development of the challenge known as arigisotsalik, literally those who lift stones. Several events originate from working in the fields, the best known of which is Lasta Oldsatia, the lifting of straw bales. This is done either using a pitchfork or a pulley, and is often organized in tandem with Joko, Zakulastika, and Untsukatariak, a race involving pitchers of milk. Also well known is Soka shot or tug of war, which is an internationally recognized discipline celebrated in no less than 14 countries. During the summer, demonstrations of Force Basque are organized by the local XISDE organization, often at the main municipal arena in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Carnivals, festivals and events. Basque Carnival of Ihatriac held in February. Weekend Andalusian Festival of Pentecost. Festival of St. Jean, patron saint of the city, held end of June. Tuna Festival held second Saturday of July along with the Amateur Tuna Festival. Sardine Night Festival, end of July and into August. Since 1953, the local Basque Yacht Club has organized an international amateur tuna fishing championship in August. Classical Music of the Basque Coast Festival in September with concerts and free master classes. Maurice Ravel International Academy of Music holds classes in first half of September. Rue de la République Festival organized by local merchants, third weekend in September. Young International Film Directors Festival each October. International Basque Choral Singing Festival around Halloween. Well-known personalities connected to the town. 18th century Joachim Labrèche, born 1769 in Hendaye, died 1853 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, French political figure. 19th century John Auburn, Count Auburn, born 1834, died 1905 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Tirso de Rolizabal Wiladizabal, Count of Arbelais, born 1842 in Iran, died 1921 in San Sebastian, of Spanish caste politician. Ernest William Hornung, born 1866 in Middlesbrough, died in 1921 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a British writer. Fyodor Chelyabin, born 1873 in Kazan in Russia, died in Paris in 1938, a famous singer who owned a villa in Saint Barbe. Jesus Fernandez Duro, born 1878 in La Felguera, died 1906 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Noted flyer, received the Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur. Pierre Echebasta, born 1893 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, died 1980, a former player of an early form of tennis, 7 times world champion. Louis Paul Hahn, born 1883 in Pézenas, died 1963 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French aviation pioneer. Jean Sabedio, born 1890 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, died 1951 in Carcassonne, French rugby player who played for Tarbes and the French national side. André Pavlovsky, born 1891 in Paris, died 1961 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, was a famous French architect. Ramiro Aru, born 1892 in Bilbao, died 1971 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a painter, illustrator, and ceramic designer whose work celebrated Basque culture. 20th century Julio Urquijo Ibarra, born 1871 in Deusto, died 1950 in San Sebastian, Basque linguist. René Lacoste, born 1904 in Paris, died 1996 as Saint-Jean-de-Luz, French tennis champion. José Antonio Aguirre, born 1904 in Bilbao, died 1960 in Paris, buried in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Leading Basque politician and political figure. William Bayen, born Metz in 1911 and died in Saint-Jean-de-Luz in 1997, a painter specializing in Orientalist art. Michel Echevry, born 1919 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, died 1999 in Paris, French actor. Jean Dehas, born 1920 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a Basque poet with the pseudonym Aratzida. Marie Sabouret, born 1924 in La Rochelle, died 1960 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French actress. Franz Dubosc, born 1924 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, French politician. Jacques Pavlovsky, born 1931 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French photographer. Charles Ducasse, born 1932 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French footballer. Philippe Auguste, born 1939 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, French actor and director. Miguel Boyer, born 1939 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, economist and Spanish politician. Michel Alliot-Marie, born 1946 in Villeneuve-Loire, French politician who was mayor of Saint-Jean-de-Luz from 1995 to 2002. André Dariussec, born 1947 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French rugby player who played for Saint-Jean-de-Luz Olympique Rugby and the French national side. Sophie Audouin Mamikonian, born 1961 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, author of the famous French book series about heroine Tara Duncan, followed by French-speaking young people and translated into many languages. Jean-Marie Ecquet, born 1962 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, guitarist. Laurence Osterlazer, born 1967 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, television journalist. Vicente Lizarazu, born 1969 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, French footballer and a winner of a World Cup with the French national side in 1998. And Sophie Lapix, born 1972 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, journalist and French TV presenter. Sandrine Mendebure, born 1973 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, professional golfer. Frederica Aranzua Carrieta, born 1975 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, author and essayist writing about Franco-Spanish affairs. Yoann Anthian, born 1979 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a rugby player who has represented the Armenian national side. Patxi Gara, born 1981 in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a French author, writer and performer discovered on the French TV version of Star Academy. Points of interest: Jardin Botanique Littoral, Paul Jouvet, Saint Jean Baptiste Church,